what is ES6? ES6 is the next generation of JavaScript released in 2015 by ECMA technical community, which oversees JavaScript. It added many new features in JavaScript. Most of the ES6 features now run in all browsers as of 2021. Means 2021 everything with the exception on IE11. And IE11, as most of we know, it is been deprecated also. Okay, we don't need to check the compatibility because it is there. So the first thing which we are going to learn about is let, var and const. So var was there from the starting of JavaScript in 1995. So it has a lot of issues, var. So let and const were added to JavaScript to solve those issues. So with let we finally have block scoping in JavaScript. So let us first learn about let and var, and var we all know, but then also let's start. Okay, var first, just like var first name equal to Bindu, we just generally we declare variable like this in JavaScript. So and console.log first name, and if you run it, just it will console.log. Similarly, var last name equal to Biswas, or var. This time we will use let. So what I want to tell with this, nothing changes, means console.log last name, and if I run it, clear it, run it, it will show nothing changes. So where is the difference? As var is functional scope. So what is functional scope? So let us see a very common example. So just suppose there is a if a statement is there, I will pass true in it, and var age equal to 20 and console.log of age. So in most other languages, if I give this, let me comment out these things. In most of the language, if I give this, it will give an error because it is if a statement is there in every other language. So if we give it here, this should not be available outside, but in JavaScript that is not the case. It will run, and it is a very big issue. But it is functional scope. So what is functional scope? If I wrap it as it's a function. Suppose a is this there. Okay. So suppose I wrap it like this, and if it will give me error. Even if I run aged, it doesn't matter. It will give me error. Okay, a green error it gave me because it is not accessible. Okay, so this is what is there in JavaScript in var. But with let, we have actually solved this issue. This if is also now means it is now blocked scope. So now if let's take something like this only. If true, okay, var last age. So what we are going to do, not var, let it take let, and console.log of last age. Now see what will happen. So let me again comment this out. Now again it will give error because it is not accessible. So this is what is known as block scope. Just like every other language, now JavaScript has also got the block scope. Okay, so this is one thing, and the next thing which we are going to see is the constant. Okay, so what are constant are a new type. we cannot assign a new value or variable after the initial declaration. That's why it is a constant for primitive value types like integer and string, but we can add values for non-primitive like arrays and object. So because of that, nowadays constant are the most used variables in JavaScript, because nobody, once they declare it JavaScript codes, you will have a lot of arrays and object, and now we'll see what it is there. So notice what the people do. They will declare everything constant. If it is required, then later change it to let. Why nobody declares nowadays? Okay, so let's see what is the constant. This JSBin is completed, so so suppose const first is equal to 6. So it will give me error. It will not allow me to do like this. Okay, so let me comment it out. It is not allowed. Now first stage, and it will run. So now the main thing is with arrays and objects. So it is behaves in a very good way with arrays and object. So child ages equal to 5, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so now the thing which is not allowed is again this, 12. If I try to run this will give the error. Okay, but what is allowed, the same thing I can do, like child ages dot push 12. So this operation is completely allowed. Console dot log child ages. See, it has been added. So this is completely allowed. Now the same thing is with objects also. Const person obj equal to name Nabindu, skill is JS, suppose I try like this, it will again give me error. So this is not allowed, but similar to that we can add it through the property, like person object dot skill equal to react, and person object dot even we can add a new thing, new key value pair, profession equal to developer. So we are adding a new field, and now console dot log person object, and if I clear and run it, see it is adding this object, name, profession is, and skills is also updated. So it is what is with constant. So we are done with let var and constant. Now we'll go to the next thing, which is the fat arrow function. So this is a new way to write function, and they are very important. We'll know much in React. So fat arrow function also keeps the context, and we don't need work around like bind, apply, and call. This we will see means whenever some example comes. The main thing is that this is a new way to write function, and you should prefer fat arrow always, because it has got some cool features over the normal type of function. So JavaScript is mainly a functional language, means even the classes are there, but they're inside their functions only. JSBin again, JavaScript console I'll do, And now, so the normal, let's see the normal function. Normal function is like function fn like console.log hello JS fn, and if I run it, it will be run. Okay, now let's change it to arrow function, const fn ES6. So it is like there is a function, another way to declare a function, that is, it is like that only, but what it is there, like equal to function, function is generally with this brackets, and we give a fat arrow, it is equal to and greater than sign. This is known as fat arrow, and we can now give this console.log hello ES6 fn ES6. Let's run it, run it like normal function, and it will run. So this is known as arrow function, and there are many different ways to do a arrow function, and there are some rules which apply. So this we can convert this to a single line also. How? Const fn ES6 single equal to, so it will do like this, and then so we can omit these brackets also. Okay, so again, and I clear and run it. Hello ES6 again. So we have omitted these brackets. So and but if it is a multi-line, and then we cannot omit the bracket. It is only then when it is single line, and sometimes we have return statements also, then also we should not omit those brackets. So like we show const fn ES6 multi equal to let a equal to 3, let b equal to 5, return a into b. So in such a statement, return is also there, so it will return something. So we have to do inside a console.log, or we have to catch in a variable. So I'm doing it inside a console.log fn multi like this, clear it, run it, 15 will come. Okay, so this is like this, but there are certain other, let me reduce the size a bit. There are certain other ways also in which we can do it. Even we can omit this return function. So how we can omit this return? So let's see one more thing, const fn ES6. Suppose we are getting two arguments from, in same case we could have, in the same case we could have written got the argument fn ES6 double args. Suppose we are getting the argument a comma b, and instead of hard coding it, we are getting it. Okay, so let me first write the complete function. Okay, so it is like return a into b will return, and then like pass the argument 3 comma 8. Clear, and it is 24. Okay, so this is normal thing. But with in ES6 only, what happens if suppose a single line is there? Okay, so first thing, we can remove it, and the second thing is there that we don't even need the return statement now. Anyways, it is giving something like that. We don't even need the return statement. We can directly do it like this. So this is not even looking as a function, and that is one of the confusion which a lot of people have. In a single line, we'll doing the return statement also. So if I clear it and run it, see 24 will come. Okay, so this is like that. And similarly, const fn ES6. Now we will see for a single args. So if a single argument is there, we are getting a single argument like this. So first thing first, we can, instead of the return as I have shown, we can directly do it like this. A return statement can also be given, and instead of this, we can do like this. Okay. Console.log. So we have to pass a single statement, and let me pass 8 and clear it, and it will run 40. But there is one more thing in ES6. When there is a single argument, we don't even need this. Okay, we don't even need this. So if someone who is new and sees this, he will not even recognize what the hell is this. But it is a function having a single argument, having a single line, having a return statement also. So return statement is also there, bracket is also there, argument is also there, everything is there, and it will give 40. So this is how ES6 is there for your function and all. Okay, so this completes the ES6. Now we will look into default parameters. So what are default parameters? So as per the definition, default values can be used in parameter which are taken when no values are passed. This applies to both normal function and arrow function. Okay, so let us again open a JS pin. Let me make it big. 150 is very good. JavaScript console output HTML. Okay, so let's check default parameters. And why do we need? Suppose const is equal. Okay, let me give some comment also, so that when you will later see, you will understand what it is. Default parameters, this all will be there below this video, all these links. Default parameters is equal, const is equal is there, and then num1 comma num2 is there. Okay, so just like a normal, it can be arrow function or a normal function, it doesn't matter. And return num1 triple equal to num2. So whatever we pass here, it will return according to this. This is a normal function. Right now it is not default function, I'm just telling. So console.log and is equal 10 comma 10. If I pass, then it will give me true. But similarly, what if I want to pass only 10? So this is the case in this is a common case. So I pass only one parameter, not two, but one parameter. What it will do, it will run in that also, because it will do some undefined or something, but we don't want it like that. So the thing is that the use case is that if nothing is passed, we want something default to be taken. And with ES6 there is invention of this default parameter where you will give equal to 20. Okay, equal to 20. Okay, and then let me clear, let me run, true false. Okay, so let me do one more thing, console.log, so that we can be more clear. num1 console.log num2. Okay, so let's see what is in the first case. So the first case, it is 10 10. see, I passed this 10, so this 20 is overwritten. So 10, 10 true, 10, 20. I didn't pass anything, so 20 was passed and it is false. So this is default parameters. So next thing which we are going to do is object literal extension and dynamic field. First we'll look into object literal extension. In object literal we don't have an extension, we now have an extension for the key of an object. So we'll understand better with an example what is object literal extension. It's a big term, but it is not that much big. Okay, object literal extension. Okay, so object literal extension is we all know what is an object. Suppose if I declare the variable outside only, name equal to Hriday, let age equal to 7, and let ES6 obj equal to name. Again I have a key of name and then this name. So this name is a key and this name is this name which I have declared outside. Okay, so age is of age. So this is normal thing. This is nothing. Console.log of ES6 obj. Okay, let me comment this to out. Okay, so just it will give like this. Okay, this JSPin, this object, please ignore that because it adds this thing. Okay, so anyway it is like ES7, nothing, ES7 and name is Hriday, so nothing is different is there. This is a normal object. But what object literal extension means, you just see the key and the value are the same thing. See, name, age. What we can do, we can actually remove this. So it means that only this is a short form. If I clear it and run it, it will give the same thing. So this is known as object literal extension. Okay, so now we'll do dynamic fields. We can assign dynamic values to key in an object. So these two we use heavily in React. Means it is not required to use, but a lot of developer use it, and if you're working on a common code, you're definitely going to face this because developer loves shortcuts. Okay, so dynamic fields, let age field, and this is also very important thing, age field equal to age. In bigger project, what I am going to tell now, this dynamic field is used a lot. Let ES6 dynamic obj equal to name is. So what I'm doing, see, I have defined an age field which is a string. So instead of directly taking age here like this, age and like 38 like this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this age field. But to use this age field, I have to use a bracket, square bracket, and give it like this, age field. And now console.log of ES6 dynamic obj is there, clear, run it and see, it will come same thing. So what is the benefit of it? So instead of giving age, sometimes in program what it's there, that key can be controlled from outside. So it is not like hard-coded age, it can be anything depending on the program. Age, earlier age, if I go do this, see, it will become earlier age. So this is the benefit of this dynamic field, and it, as I have told, it is very important because of that. Now we will look into one of the very important concept in ES6, rest and spread operator, because they are used heavily in React. So everywhere they are used in React, especially the spread operator is used. So they are similar, means we have 3 dots to represent him, but in different contexts it is different. So rest and spread operator. So rest operator, as you can see, with rest operator we can pass argument to a function and get it converted into an array. So what does that statement means? So we will look into that. JS bin, again I'll do JavaScript console output. I'll go and let me write it, rest operator, and let array func equal to, suppose something is like that, a comma b comma c comma d comma e. Okay, I'm receiving these things, and what I want to do, I want to convert it into an array. Okay, so there is a very long format like that tmp r equal to, so there are many times it is required whatever parameters is passed to it, I want to convert it into array, and there are a lot of problem in this approach. Yeah, temp or dot push, I have to push all of this and console.log arr, and then arr function 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I don't, okay, so let me do it, run it, and it is not giving error, so I have to do a lot of other things. I think I have to like maybe, so a lot of func. Okay, what is giving func is not something. Okay, I was doing it wrong, it is temper. Okay, so let me do rest of them. Okay, so this is like this, it will happen. But what if I add another 6? Then I have to change this logic, and this logic will get complicated, so we have to check the length and all those things we have to do. Okay, so all those things are there, but this is not a perfect logic. So there are many times what is there, whatever argument you pass here, it should be converted to an array. So what is the solution? The solution is, let so the solution is dot operator, which is known as rest operator, whenever it is used in the parameters. Okay, this is very important. It can be used only in the function parameters. Okay, same thing, and with just this much it is converted into an array. Console.log arr, and similarly restr func let me do it now. Okay, and it got converted into an array just with that, and it doesn't matter, I can do 8, 10, clear, run, it will convert into an array. So our problem is also solved. So this is what rest operator is all about. Okay, now we will check spread operator, and it will take some space, so it's better I do it in another JS bin JavaScript console output, and it is done. Okay, so what is spread operator? Let's first read it. A spread operator is the opposite of rest operator, which takes an array and convert it the list into an argument. So it was taking argument and converted it into an array. So it is the opposite, and it is not generally used in the parameters. So it takes array and convert it into a list of arguments. So let us do that. Operator, let a equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, suppose array is there like this, and there are some function known as math.main, math.max. Those functions are there, and if you recollect, those function requires an argument, like, and those arguments, then it gives the max of it. So let us see just an example, like console.log math.min, and we pass argument to it 4, 7, 8, 3, and if I run it, it will give me 3. But generally we don't pass values like this. Okay, so what is there, we can pass this value also. Array are easier to pass. So but I want this only accepts it as a parameters like this. So what we need to do, we need to go back and dot a. So this is the opposite of a spread. This is the opposite of rest, and here the minimum is 1. So it is the opposite of our rest, because it is converting this array into parameters. Okay, similarly I can have the max also, and it will give me the max of this array. Okay, so this is very popular, and one very good use of spread operator is cloning. So it clone by value and not by reference, so that is very powerful. So cloning and merging. So let's see something. So let x1 equal to (1, 2) a1 equal to 3, 4 c1 equal to 9, 10 is there. Okay, so let me first do this. Okay, so let's I want to clone. So cloning is very easy. Let x2 equal to, you have to give array because it expands it. So dot x1. So what it is, it will do, it will means first take this array x1 and convert it into parameters, and then we have to give another array because it have to combine it into an array. So okay, we have not even done console.log of x2. If I run it, see 1, 2. So this is known as cloning. So also merging is very easy with this. If you want to merge these 3 array, a lot of logic is required. Okay, and with this it is very easy with our spread operator. So let d1 equal to dot x1 dot a1 dot c1. Okay, so then just the merging is done. Console.log d1, and if I run it, see the merging is done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10. The merging is done. So next we will do object cloning and merging are also done very easily with this our spread operator. Okay, so let us have an object. Let obj1 equal to foo, it is bar x is 42 comma obj2. Okay, obj2 equal to foo bars. So see, both of them has the same key. That is, please notice that this is very important. 13. Okay, so let first do the cloning. Let new obj1, and again the cloning will be dot 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 obj1 and console dot log obj1. Let me comment this out. Okay, clear it, run it. So just the obj is created, foobar. Now the merging we will see. Merging is very interesting case, especially in this where we have a common key is common, foo, and objects cannot have the same key again. So that is very important thing to notice. Merged obj equal to dot 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 obj1 comma dot 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 obj2 and console dot log merged obj. So see, something interesting will happen. See, the foo, the bars got added. So this is the first one. So the second one got added because it cannot have two foo, because objects always have unique key. So that is there, and x and y2 they are added, x and y are added. So that is obvious. So this is very important thing to notice. So this completes this array and object destructuring. No, not array and object destructuring. This completes the split operator. Now we will look into template literal from ES6. So this is a new way to write a string with the backticks, and it is very useful way to write a string. So let us look into that. Template literals. And what was the earlier problem with writing the strings? So suppose I have a variable like name equal to bond, and we'll use the bond. We want the bond line, bond, famous bond line. It's bond James Bond. Okay, so that we are going to do. So let's do the ordinary way, normal way. So it's, I want to write it's first. If I give this, it will not happen, so I have to escape that also. So let me escape that first, escaping it, it's okay. So yeah, so one more will come. So yeah, so like this I have to escape it first, then it's plus name plus James plus name. Let us see it now. Console.log bond line, and let me run it. It's bond James Bond. It is all looking weird. Why? Because the spaces are not, so we have to consider that also. So first a space will be here, second space will be here, third space will be here. Okay, now clear it, run it. So now it is perfect. It's bond James Bond. Okay, so all these things are there. So natural flow, we have to keep into our mind this spaces and all are there. So what is ES6 now? So let bond line ES6. So what will happen here? Bond line ES6. First we have it with the template string, this backtick is below the escape. Okay, so then we can write natural English. We don't have to write anything means plus and all this thing. So it's, we don't even have to escape it. It's bond. So but the variable is not written like this name, because it will not understand what it is. So there is a special thing is there, dollar and curly bracket, and I have to give name, and then we will follow the normal English on it. It's bond James Bond. So again the dollar name. console.log bond line ES6 clear. Let me comment this out and run it. So it is running perfectly. So this is what is known as template literals. Okay, so now we will look into array destructuring and object destructuring. Let us go here. Array, and with the destructuring you can extract a small fragment from array and object. You can also handle nested structure by nested destructuring. Those complicated topic we won't see, but with destruction syntax you can extract small fragment from array and object. That is the main thing. Okay, let me open another JS bin because it's a new topic. So first, array destructuring. So we'll do array destructuring. First, const RGB equal to 255, 200, 0. So suppose the array is there and we want to extract each of the element from it. So the normal way is const r equal to RGB of 0, const g equal to RGB of 1, const. So RGB you're gonna take anything, means red, green, blue also you can take, it doesn't matter. Variable name can be anything. RGB of 2 and then console.log r comma g comma p. Let me run it, and it okay, it is not dot, it is comma, clear, and RGB will be there. So instead of these 3 lines we can use only 1 line to do this thing, and we will do that. So const, so RGB we have already taken the variable name. Let's give it red, green, blue. So this is the format equal to RGB. Only we have to do this. So this means exactly same. So red will go to this RGB 0, green will go to this RGB 1, blue will go to this RGB 2. So it means exactly the same thing. So now if I do console.log of red, green and blue, and I will comment this out, we'll get exactly the same thing. So this is known as array destructuring. With 1 line we have been destructured these 3 lines, so only 1 line of code is required instead of this 3 lines. So this is very useful. Now we'll look into object destructuring. Object destructuring will look, and suppose const developer first name is Bindu, last name is Vishwas, country is India, and suppose I want to again extract this first name, last name and country. So the normal way is const, and the variable name can be anything, but let us keep the same. First name equal to developer dot first name. So we can keep the variable name as same also, const v last name equal to developer dot last name, and country is developer dot country, and now console.log first name, comma, last name, comma, country, so it is done. So this is how it is done in a normal way. So again, there is too much code here. Okay, so let me comment this out also. So what is the short form? The short form again is const. We have to give, now it's an object, so we have to give this object, and we'll do first name, last name, and country equal to developer. Okay, equal to developer, and it is exactly similar to all these three combined. Okay, again run it, so it will come. So this is known as object destructuring. Okay, so the next thing we are going to look is the classes in ES6. So classes in ES6 were introduced in because they thought that because JavaScript is a functional programming language, so I have the classes thing also, but classes is actually not classes. Under the hood, it is a functional thing also. There is something known as constructor function which is there, and it is the syntactic sugar over that. Okay, so instead of looking just into this constructor function and all, they're a little complicated. Just we'll look into directly into classes. Means classes most of the person knows because of the most of the person read Java or something. So classes is there, but classes is not used a bit in React also, the class based thing, but React is also slowly moving away from it. But then also we have to know the classes. So again, JS bin is there, JavaScript and console is there, and let us move into ES6 classes. So class always start with the class keyword, just as in other language. We have a class known as create room. Classes can be considered as a blueprint of something, and then with the object we can create different classes. So classes and objects thing are there. Constructor is there. Then in constructor I'll have something known as a name. So constructor only runs the first time in a class, so not the second time, or also we are going to, whenever we initialize some object, the constructor is run first. So when we are going to do React, we will see big constructors and all those things are there. So something, suppose a variable is there, and this keyword is used a lot in classes. So this dot room equal to dollar names room clean room soap console.log cleaning dollar this dot room with dollar soap. So this all we are going to get through the classes, so don't worry about it. So a constructor is there and a function is there within the class. So now we'll create the object. As I've told, classes are the blueprint and the object are the thing in which creates the main thing. Naps room, suppose object is the naps room equal to, objects are always created with a new keyword, new create room, so then same name and nabendu. So we are passing nabendu, so this name will be taken in the constructor, and this dot room equal to nabendu's room will be stored. So if I have another object like Shikha's room, so it will be another object will be created with that. So we can create n number of objects. So that's why classes are sometimes very powerful. So then, so we want to use this function. So naps room dot clean room, and here also we have to pass something. So let me pass domex here, and Shikha dot clean room. Let us clean it with Lysol. Okay, so let me run it now. Okay, some issue is there. Okay, got the issue. So in quick succession I did this. Okay, now it is okay. Clear it, run it. Cleaning Nabendu's room with Tomex. So this dot room was set to Nabendu first time when this is done, and then with this object I am calling this. So it is very important to know this object I am calling this. So that's why it was with Domex, and then I am created Shikha room, and with Shikha room I am calling this Lysol. So that's why Shikha room with Lysol. So this is the concept of classes, and we have this concept in React. So this completes the ES6 classes. Now we will look for the different array helper methods for each map, filter, and reduce. So they were introduced in ES6, and they are on top of for loop, and because of that the code becomes small a lot. So first we will see the forEach. Okay, so if we see classical for loop, let family equal to an array is there, Nabendu Shikha and Hriday is there. And so if I want to do it through the classical for loop, then what I will do, for let I equal to 0, I is less than family dot length I plus plus, and let me do a console.log of family I. Okay, so if I run it, it will give me all the members. So there is a for each loop in ES6. So what does that do? So I can directly go to the array family dot for each. So for each is there, and I can take anything, but I will take, any keyword, means I will take member. I can take item also, but member is a much better word, so it doesn't matter. Member and console.log member. So in the same line we are doing when there are only one statement. If there are more than one statement, we can give the curly bracket. Okay, so it doesn't return anything. This is one of very important thing to know. It doesn't return anything, but it just runs. So we can directly do that family dot for each member. So internally it runs this logic only. Okay, so let me comment this out and clear it and run it. So see, it is coming. It internally run this logic only. So this is how this is run. So now what we are going to see, we are going to see map. So again, Control T, JS bin, JavaScript console, we'll do map. So map, first I will do map use case. So what is the use case of map? Suppose there is an array of numbers 6, 8 and 10, and we want to add something, subtract something, multiply something in each of the item. This is very important thing to know. So whatever you put inside a map, you receive that many number also. If you put an array of length 3, you will receive something of length 3 only. You can do any operations on it. This is a very important thing to know. Okay, so we want to multiply it by 2. Okay, so let doubled numbers nums is much nums equal to empty array. So we are first doing with the classical for loop. So all these cases we can do with for loop also. For, and earlier we used to do with for loop only this type of case. For I equal to 0, I is less than numbers dot length I plus plus doubled nums dot push. So we have to take an empty array, then in that we are going to push numbers of I into 2. So this empty array and all these things we have to form. So this is a waste of memory also. Console.log doubled nums. Okay, let me run it and see it is working. And but with the ES6 map, what we can do, and one thing to notice that is difference from forEach is that map returns something, so we have to catch it in a variable or something like that. Console double doubled ES6 equal to numbers dot map num. So num item also you can take num into 2. So one of the benefit of this for each and map is that we can do it in a single line if there are less statement. Okay, with this we can do it, and only with this much, and it will double every number. Okay, so then console.log doubled ES6. Let me hide this out, and it is double. But there is one more thing. If there are more statements, then what to do? More statements in map. Okay, so if there are more statements in map, then we need a return. Actually here also there is a return is there, but since in arrow function we don't have to mention it, so we are not mentioning it. So let double maths equal to numbers dot map num, and I have more statements. Like suppose I want to do const tmp equal to num into 2 minus 2, and when we return something we have to return that thing, return temp. So each of the item it will do this thing. So return temp is there, and console.log this double match is there. Yeah, and it is done, whatever match was there. So this is how more statements are been done. Now we will do filter. Okay, so again first the filter use case, let products equal to, let's it is within an array of object. So name is Samsung M21 and category is smartphone. Okay, one thing to tell, in any site like Amazon or something, all the products, when you go to the front page, suppose all the products are missing, then we filter something. This kind of logic only is used. We get a big array of object which contains everything, which have different categories, and there are tick boxes. When you tick something, only that is filtered. So inside that, some Amazon engineer have written a logic like this only. The second one is 1 plus 7. So now you'll see what I'm saying, and name is MacBook Air, category is different. So this is what I'm saying, laptop, and this we can filter. Lenovo Legion, and it is also a laptop. Now the classical way, if I want to filter maybe all the smartphone or filter all the laptop, what the classical way is there? Again we have to create a temporary array, just like in the earlier example we have to filtered products equal to an empty array we have to create, and then we have to loop through it for let I equal to 0, I is less than products dot length I plus plus. Okay, if so it will loop through everything. Suppose there are thousands of products, it will loop through everything. If products I, so suppose it is looping to the first one, so products I will give this whole object products I dot category triple equal to smartphone. Then what it will do, it will do filtered products dot push product I am pushing it. Okay, so in only these two will be pushed. Now console.log of filtered products, if I do and I run it, see only the smartphones are been chosen. Okay, so now we will change this to filter, and we don't need that much logic. Const filter is const filtered ES6 equal to products dot filter, and we can call it anything. I can call it product also, I can call it item also. Let me call it item dot category. Let us search all the laptops now. Category triple equal to laptop console.log filtered ES6. Okay, so let me clear it and run it. The second one is coming from here, so filtered ES6. So whenever this is true, so we are doing something like this. Whenever this is true, that will be filtered. Okay, so this is the case with filter, and we have replicated this thing. So whenever this is true, only that one will be added. So with just one line of code we have done it. Again it returns something, so we have to catch it in something. Okay, so the next thing and last thing here we'll see is reduce, although not used much. So the most used things are forEach, filter and map. This is with my production support experience. Production support means development experience. I'm working for big projects for the last so many years. So now we'll do reduce, let numbers equal to 20, 30, 40. Okay, so we will first see the reduce use case var sum. Suppose we want to sum all these things, so how will you do it? Suppose we want to sum all these things in an array, so we are doing that only. For let I equal to 0, I is less than numbers dot I plus plus sum plus equal to numbers of I. Okay, console.log of sum, and it will give me the sum, okay, of 90. So now we are going to do the same thing with reduce const sum reduce equal to numbers dot reduce. Okay, so it works in a bit different thing. It has got an accumulator. ES6 is known as accumulator, and it is another thing is known as current. Actually, reduce is very powerful. You can use in place of map filter and everything, but this is a bit complicated if you use in the place of those. So I have seen people don't use it much. So this use case is there, but there can be other use cases also. So we are just doing the sum again. So what I have to do, I have to do this and return ACC plus cur, and I have to pass one more thing. I have to pass the initial value of 0. See here, sum of 0 was there because 0 we are adding, so here also it is there. And if I do now console.log sum reduce, it will give me 90. I have already commented it out. So how does it work? So accumulator and current is there. So let me also show how does it work. So the first run when it will come for numbers, so the accumulator will be, so let me show it here. So suppose the first run comes, so the accumulator will be 0. This 0 will be picked up, and the current is how much? Current is 20 plus 20, and return accumulator plus current, so it will return as 20. Then what is the accumulator this time? This time the accumulator is 20 plus the current is 30, so it will be 50. Then the next time it will come, what is the accumulator? Accumulator is now 50 and the current is 40. 50 plus 40 equal to 90. So this is the way reduce works. So with this, actually we came to an end of our ES6